Hi, I am Dr. Arsalan and today we are going to explain the phylum Porifera. The word Porifera, it is derived from Latin language and it is composed of two words. The pori means porous and fera means to have. So the body of these animals bear pores and therefore these are called poriferous animals. Common examples of this phylum are Sycon, glass sponge, bath sponge, Euplectella, Leucoslenia and Spongilla. Glass sponge and bath sponge, these are commonly used in our homes, while Euplectella, it is also known as Venus flower basket because the shape of the Euplectella it matches with the Venus flower basket. So these members of the phylum Porifera, these have porous bodies and these pores are called ostia. So ostia are pores on the body. While osculum, this is mouth. So these animals bear mouth having no anus. Let's consider this diagram as Spongilla. It bears pores throughout its body. These pores are called ostia. And the anterior opening, the mouth, it is called osculum. The members of this phylum are also called as sponges. So the phylum Porifera is also referred to as sponges, the spongocoel. This is the cavity in their body. So this cavity present in their body, this is called spongocoel. So these are coelomate animals and belong to the class Parazoa. We divide kingdom Animalia into three classes: the protozoa, parazoa and metazoa. The protozoa is excluded from kingdom Animalia and it is placed in the kingdom Protista and are referred to as animal-like protists. For example, amoeba, ant amoeba, trypanosoma, Balantidium, all of these are the protozoans. So these are excluded from the kingdom Animalia being unicellular animals. Then the parazoa, these are simple multicellular animals comprising only one phylum, the phylum Porifera. So these are parazoans, simple multicellular animals. And then there is metazoa, the true animals, the true multicellular animals are called metazoans. Next character is these are diploblastic animals. Their bodies bear two layers. The outer layer, this is called pinacoderm and inner layer is called coenoderm. The pinacoderm, it is made up of the cells called pinacocytes, while inner layer cells are called coenocytes. Coenocytes are also referred to as color cells because these coenocytes bear flagella towards the interior of the spongocoel. And these flagella are basically used to trap the food in the water current system, because when water is entering through these pores, the ostia into the spongocoel and leaving through the osculum, contents or food materials contained in this water are retained by these coenocytes, color cells, flagella. This is the feeding or nutritive mode of the sponges. In between these two layers, this is called mesenchyme. This layer is called mesenchyme and this layer contains specialized cells called amoeboid cells. So these are the amoeboid cells. These perform two functions. The amoeboid cells perform two functions. First is this production of sperm and ova. So these are involved in the sexual reproduction. And the second is nutritive function, because these help in the digestion of food. The simple multicellular animals, as we know that the sponges are the phylum Porifera, the members of this phylum are called simple multicellular animals and these belong to the class Parazoa. Bodies of these animals is basically composed of many cells, multi-layered cells, but these cells cannot be united or coordinated to form the organs, systems, and structural organization of the body is absent in these animals. So therefore these are called simple multicellular animals. Next is the aquatic. So the sponges are all aquatic and mostly these are marine. Next is the tubular or cylindrical body. So the animals of phylum Porifera, as shown in the list, are all tubular or cylindrical in shape. Their bodies are basically tube-like or cylinder-shaped, spherical. As we have discussed, the mesenchyme, that area between two layers, the pinacoderm and coenoderm, are the external layer and internal layer. This layer is called mesenchyme, containing the amoeboid cells. Next characteristic of the sponges is water current system or water feeding system. This mechanism involves the inflow of water through this ostia or pores of the body. Water moves with a flux into the spongocoel or body cavity of the sponges, and the food materials and content present in this water are trapped by this flagella of the coenocytes, and these food materials are basically filtered from this water. So this is also called filter feeding system. So water current system is also called as filter feeding system because the food is filtered from the water in this, and after filtration of the food material, this water leaves through the osculum. So this is the filter feeding system or water current system in which the sponges get food or nutrition from the aquatic environment. Next is digestion. So sponges bear two types of digestion: the intracellular digestion within the cell having food vacuole, the extracellular digestion in which the amoeboid cells help in the digestion of food. So two kinds of digestion is there: the intercellular digestion and extracellular digestion. Due to lack of locomotory organs, sponges cannot move, and these are fixed at one place, or these are basically attached to the rocks in the marine environment or aquatic environment. So these are sessile in nature. Food for sponges is zooplanktons, phytoplanktons and crustaceans. So these are the food materials which are eaten by the sponges: zooplanktons, phytoplanktons and crustaceans. Next is the mode of reproduction in sponges. Sponges have two types of reproduction, the asexual as well as sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction takes place by budding or gemule formation. Bud is formed exterior to the body of the sponges, while gemule is formed interior to the body. So this is the basic difference between bud and gemule, and these sponges can reproduce by budding as well as gemule formation, while sexual reproduction involves the union of sperm and ova. Fertilization of ova by the spermatozoon, this is the sexual reproduction in the sponges. The excretion, as we know that the sponges are simple multicellular animals and these lack specialized organ system. Excretion in the sponges is through general diffusion from the body. There are no excretory organs present in these animals, so excretion occurs by general body surface through a process of diffusion. There is also lack of nervous system. Only neurons are present for coordination in the water current system. So only spicules are the structures which constitute the skeleton of the sponges, and the sponge's skeleton is basically made up of calcium carbonate and silicates. So their skeleton is also called as calcareous or siliceous. So skeleton is basically made up of calcium carbonates and silicates in the form of spicules. Sponges have remarkable power of regeneration, and even a small piece or small fragment of the sponge is sufficient to produce a whole organism. So these have remarkable power of regeneration. Symmetry is basically the division into two or more equal halves by apparent line. Members of Phylum Porifera are either asymmetrical, they are usually absent in the Phylum Porifera, and these animals cannot be divided into two or more equal halves by apparent line or imaginary line. However, if symmetry is present, then these are radially symmetrical, can be divided into two or more halves. Next is the mode of nutrition. Sponges follow the holozoic nutrition manner. Holozoic means holo means complete or whole, and zoic is here food. In this mechanism, the whole food material, the bolus, is ingested into the body and it is then digested. For example, the animals, the sponges, these are follow the holozoic mode of nutrition. These animals do not bear any respiratory organs, so respiration occurs by diffusion. Now size. The size of sponges ranges from few millimeters up to meters. Next is the economical importance. The sponges can be used for dishwash. The glass sponge, bath sponge is used for bath. The sponges can also be used in surgical gauze to absorb blood and other contaminants. Surgical gauze or surgical sponge can also be used in the walls of the building to make it soundproof. So this was all about the Phylum Porifera, including its characteristics and examples. Thank you.